Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner and welcome to your post-match reaction. Chelsea 1, Spurs 0. We're going to talk about the good. We're going to talk about the bad. We're going to talk about the ugly as well. There's been some incidents, but overall synopsis, look, it wasn't the greatest performance, but look, I'm not here about the performance. We've got only a handful of games left. There are a couple of Champions League spots that are up for grabs. 4th, 5th, we'll see what happens. Right now, getting 3 points is the most important factor, and that's exactly what Chelsea Football Club has done. We've shown a little bit of grit. We've shown that we can keep a clean sheet in tight situations, in tense moments, and we can see off the game. So look, overall, the first half wasn't the greatest. It was actually quite a boring first half, if I'm being absolutely honest about it. Two teams that you could see are not at the highest level. Even though Spurs had a fairly decent team out there, but you can see they're very disjointed and things are not really clicking properly. And even for us, we had a pretty strong team, Jackson up front. One thing we can say, when you play with Jackson up front, one thing is certain, we press better. As a unit, we press a lot better. We can create a little bit of chaos up front. There was an early opportunity for Nicholas Jackson from a ball from Chalobah. But besides that, overall, that first half wasn't the greatest. Second half, a lot more action. Early goal from Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, lovely header. And after that, look, Caicedo really should have got that second goal. Lovely finish from Caicedo. Besides that, a top save from Sanchez. And look, we saw it out. So overall, that's pretty much the synopsis. But now I want to get into the nitty-gritty, deeper levels of some of the good stuff we saw, right? Let's talk about some of the good things before we talk about some of the sort of negative things in this match. First one that I want to talk about, some good factor. Moses Caicedo. Ladies and gentlemen, Moses Caicedo. Caicedo, boss man. All of us got a bit scared earlier on in the match. He took a bit of a knock and it looked like, oh my God, he could potentially be subbed off. It looks pretty serious. He was limping for at least good first 10, 15 minutes. He shrugged that off like the beast he is, and literally he's still bossed. The first half was boring, but one thing wasn't boring was Moses Caicedo. Moses Caicedo was still consistent across both the halves. Some of the players weren't that great first half, was better in the second half, but Moses Caicedo is one player that you can say was great all throughout, winning duels, interceptions, lovely passes, and that shot, that volley, he robbed, absolutely robbed. How that is given offside, honestly. If anything, benefit of the doubt should be going for the attacking team. It really should be going for the attacking team. If you're that unsure that whether this is an offside or not, you should award that as a goal. I couldn't tell whether Levi Colwill was really offside or not. Where they're drawing the line, this, that, the other. I believe from next week or the week after, semi-automated system is coming on, so we shall see what happens there. But Caicedo did well, obviously, not to get yellow card in this match because he'll get suspended 2 matches. And he should have actually got Pape Matar Sarr sent off because that tackle Pape Matar Sarr had on him, that was a red card offense. The one that Pape Matar Sarr took a shot and was pulled from Sanchez. Besides that, look, Moses Caicedo, boss man, absolute boss man. So that's number one. Very, very good performance for me. Second up for me is Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella. Eating a paella, Cucurella, eating a paella, sipping a estrella, Alan trembling. Cucurella, this guy, boss, another boss man. 2 of our best performers this season, Caicedo and Cucurella, showing immense consistency. Once again, Cucurella, lovely tackles, good defending. 1 or 2 odd moments here and there, but look, that can happen. It didn't hurt us, and he recovered well. Overall, Cucurella, supreme performance. Next up, I want to talk about Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, especially second half. Not so much first half, especially second half. Instrumental, definitely instrumental. He was on the ball a lot more. He was on the right, through the middle, on the left, wherever, right? Look, he can definitely go a lot more notches forward. This wasn't some sort of a sublime performance or anything like that, but a lot better than recent weeks. I think the break would have done him well. And lovely crossing from Cole Palmer for Enzo Fernandez's goal. He had another lovely cross in the first half, I believe. It might have been the first half. Yes, it was the first half where Sancho put the ball through. Cole Palmer went in, crossed it in, but once again, it was Enzo Fernandez that was in the box, was unable to finish. So Cole Palmer, big tick mark. Hopefully, the fixtures that are coming up, Cole Palmer has to be our X factor. if we are to do some sort of damage and we are to finish in the Champions League position, Cole Palmer needs to be the main guy. Next up, Enzo Fernandez. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is getting in the goals, scoring some important goals, scored some goals earlier on this season, scoring goals in international duty, scoring again today, winner, big goals, goals that are winning games. Enzo Fernandez, look, not the greatest first half. Some of the passes were hit, mistimed, but in the second half, he's finding him. I think he's been given the authority, he's been given the license by Enzo Maresca to crash into the box, get into the box, get into goal scoring positions. First half, it was also there from the cross from Cole Palmer. Just obviously, he's not a striker, but the second half got himself nicely positioned for that cross and great header. Well done to Enzo Fernandez for that brilliant header, which ended up being the winner for us. Much better second half for Enzo Fernandez, and led the team all throughout this match until Reece James came on, and then obviously the captaincy was changed. But kudos to Enzo Fernandez. Next one, I want to talk about Chalobah. Chalobah, I thought was he defended well, showed a lot of grit, fight, looked like he wanted to get into a fight with the Spurs team. It is a London derby after all. Why not? Show a little bit of passion, desire. Chalobah overall defended well too. Seems like there's a little bit more. I'm not going to say a lot more, but a little bit more assurity in defense when Chalobah is there. Levi Colwill needs a partner that's fully solid, because Levi Colwill can be a little bit dodgy at times. So Chalobah, kudos to him. And last but not least, a little bit of special honorary mention to Sanchez. Look, Sanchez had some crazy moments as well, don't get me wrong, especially that shot from Pape Matar. If that wasn't, yellow carded and VAR didn't get involved, my days, that shot from Pape Matar, Sanchez should be saving that. The fact that shot went in, luckily enough, disallowed, but Sanchez redeemed himself. A big save against Son. Huge save against Son. And that was probably the only big chance that Spurs really had. And besides that, honestly speaking, Spurs didn't do much, didn't hurt us, didn't worry us at all. And as I said, we've come across a team that's diabolical, to be honest. Ange Postecoglou, I cannot picture how he's going to be there next season. I know they're focusing on the Europa League. That's their only thing. And I said this prior to the match. I said it in my preview. I fully expect us to win this game, expect to get the 3 points. And I don't see how Spurs really going to do much. Their head would be in the Europa League competition. They've got nothing to gain in the Premier League. And I'd be surprised if Ange Postecoglou is still the Spurs manager coming the end of the season. Next season, I fully expect to see Spurs with a new manager. I think it's all sort of crumbled and fallen apart over there. So that's all the good. I want to talk some negative side. Well, it doesn't necessarily be negative, but things that we need to point out. Criticism, constructive criticism. Number one, Jadon Sancho, ladies and gentlemen. Jadon Sancho, for me, look, besides that one shot that was well saved by Vicario, he didn't do much. He didn't shoot enough. He gets into shooting positions, but he don't want to shoot. There's a lot of backward passing. Yeah, he looks good on the ball. Doesn't really beat his man. Honestly speaking, look, a lot of people are like, oh, he was better than Neto. Better than Neto is not a compliment. We're going to get to Neto. Neto dropped a stinker as well. Better than Neto doesn't mean jack all. Jadon Sancho, ladies and gentlemen, needs to provide a lot more. Our wingers need to provide a lot more. Goals, assists, help out in defense, robust, energy. Jadon Sancho, at this moment, I'll have to say, if I'm being honest, I'll pay that penalty, 5 million, and send it back to Man United. And if Man United don't want to send it to Dortmund, so be it. Whatever the case after that is Man United's business. But I can't see how we keep Jadon Sancho, ladies and gentlemen. So that's my first, I suppose, bad point on this match. Next bad point is Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto, ladies and gentlemen. Forget about getting Wolves, Pedro Neto. We can't even get that. We need someone even better than the Wolves one. This is Chelsea Football Club, right? Right now, we're not getting that. Pedro Neto on that right side. You got to take your man on, man. You got to be... Madueke came on for a little bit. And then, do you know what? I'm not even the hugest fan of Madueke, but at least he takes his man on. At least he attempts to take his man on. Pedro Neto, you got to take your man on. And the inverted cross is good, but it's going to nowhere. Maybe that's not his fault entirely, but look, overall, Pedro Neto, more production's needed, man. More production is needed. It's not good enough. It's just not good enough. Malo Gusto, stinker. Third bad point. Malo Gusto, Crossing, passing, defending, everything falling apart for this guy. Falling apart. Yes, you can say, oh, but, Maresca's kind of ruined him. He inverts now. Not all the time he's inverting. There are times where he's overlapping. He's on the right side where he generally plays as a right back. And he can't seem to cross it in properly. Few people are like, do you know what? I don't think Malo Gusto was that bad compared to what he was against Arsenal. Don't compare the Arsenal game. That's like the bar is very low. Malo Gusto from last season to Malo Gusto this season regressed incredibly. And I think some of these changes will be made for the Brentford game. I know a lot of people were very upset that why didn't Reece James start this game? Reece James getting managed. When you get to the point of Wesley Fofana as well, injured, Romeo Lavia and this, that, the other. If something was to happen, touch wood to Caicedo earlier on in the game, we need Romeo Lavia, but this guy, God knows where he is, right? The fourth bad point that I'll say, look, as great as it has been to get Nicholas Jackson back, I have to say, we need a striker. I don't want to sell Jackson. I'd keep Jackson. I think there's a lot of good about him, but there's a lot of bad about him as well. He's just not a clinical number 9. There are so many moments in this game where if there was a proper number 9, maybe we end up getting a goal. Or it materializes into a goal. I get it. It's his first game back after a while. I understand that. But he was missing before the break and the injury. He was missing. He went 9 games without a goal. So it's not like, be nice to Nicholas Jackson. He just came back. No, he was missing prior to that too. So these are some of the bad points. Look, as I said, don't want to harp too much about the bad ones because right now the focus is end of the season. Just pick up the 3 points. I'm not here to overanalyze the game and rip apart players or anything like that. Leave it as it is for the time being. We'll worry about all of that in the summer, of course. Right now, pick up the 3 points. The other few factors that I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, obviously Wesley Fofana didn't make the squad. He's injured again. Both Romeo Lavia and Wesley Fofana. Wesley Fofana, 3 seasons now in the bin. Just littered with injuries. We can't continue this way. I think Wesley Fofana definitely needs to be sold in the summer. How are we going to find suitors for these people? I don't know. Romeo Lavia, at least we can say, do you know what? We got backup. We got Santos. We got Sugu. We got people that are coming in the summer. Maybe we can persevere for one more season with Romeo Lavia just to have a look. But with Wesley Fofana, that's 3 seasons now in the bin. He's picked up a knock. We had no idea about this. When we saw the team sheet and he's not even in the starting lineup nor in the bench, yeah, he's injured. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for the game. Wasn't the greatest game. Wasn't the greatest performance. 3 points is the most important factor here. There were some really, really fine performers and some not so good performers. We move on to the Brentford game. We've got some fixtures that we really should be looking to win because later on, they are all difficult. I think out of the 9 that was remaining with the Spurs game, we needed 5 wins to secure a Champions League spot. With a victory against Spurs, hopefully we try and get a victory against Brentford. It ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to be easy, Brentford. Away from home, Brentford's good. If we can put up the same performance we put up against Brentford earlier on this season where we absolutely smoked them, maybe there we can do something. We're definitely not the underdogs against Brentford. We should be the favourites. We should go out there and show them what type of talent we have. Are we going to do it or not? That's a separate story. After that, it's Ipswich at home at Stamford Bridge. So we can go with a win. Spurs win, Brentford win, Ipswich, and they'll go a long way. And hopefully along the way, Man City, Newcastle, Aston Villa, they drop points. Some people are saying we're solidly in top 4. We're not solidly in top 4 yet. We are in top 4 right now, but we're not solidly there. It's volatile, very volatile. Man City, I believe, just a point away. Newcastle with a game in hand, a couple of points away. Aston Villa, I think, about 3 points away. It's tight. Very, very tight. Got to do our business. We've got to do our business. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe and hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Inshallah, God willing, we'll see you live stream tomorrow. And let's enjoy the big win. Let's enjoy this massive 3 points, huge 3 points. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya. Goodbye.